And we are live. Welcome everybody. Welcome Jason. Welcome Todd.
Hey,
Um,
Hello.
I'm not going to do an intro today. Can you hear me?
Can I can hear you.
I
Yeah.
can,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay. You said hello like you
I
couldn't hear
was,
me.
huh?
Today we've got a really special treat. We've got the song. Some people haven't gotten to hear it yet. Written by both Jason and Todd. I've heard it and I like it. I'm sure y'all will enjoy it as well. And we also have a new preview for Searching for Sasquatch Part 3.
Yeah, chapter 3, part
Chapter
1.
3, Part 1. Chapter 3, Part 1. So,
Should we just play the song first so everyone can hear it?
yeah,
Or are
yeah.
we just waiting for
Do we
people
want
to
to give a
come
little
on?
history? Do we want to give a little history on the song or a little?
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
first, I mean
Tell
the
us about
song.
this.
First of all, the song's going to be as part of this episode, uh, part three, searching for Sasquatch 3.
I'm going to
So
be using it from now on in all my chapters. Somewhere in the films, I'll be using it. Usually when we're driving and going to the area, I'll put
yeah,
the music with that. Or if I'm watching a Sasquatch running at me about to kill me, I'll play the song.
you go play. There you
As I'm
go.
There you
yelling
go.
and
Well,
screaming
you,
like a
you,
little
you have
girl.
good. You need a good bass speaker.
I'll
Um,
see if I can dance with the Sasquatch with the song.
there you go. So
There you
anyway,
go.
yeah. So when Jason and I met, we were out in the field in UP back in, when was that? June,
That was
July? Was it
July.
July?
July, yep.
We got to talking, and Jason had mentioned about, if I could do put a song together for a show. I said, well, put the words together because you
Yeah,
know better what you want than I do. So anyway,
that,
Jason
that
Jason
was
put
the
some
rule.
yeah. So Jason put some lyrics together, and I took those lyrics, did some rearrangement stuff to make it fit, and just kind of uh, played around with some different chord progressions until I wanted something a little unique. And Jason and I had discussed kind of the style he wanted, so I tried to kind of get as close as I could. I've lost sound. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
here.
Yep,
there we go. I think somebody
yep.
had muted. It's just background noise, I guess. So anyway, um,
My
yeah, I
AC.
started messing around with the chords, and it just kind of fell together. I just started trying some different stuff, and just went from there.
See, I wanted to have a song that was upbeat, uplifting, something that someone can, kind of dance to and can kind of, just be driving down the road, stick on the song, roll down the window, put
Yeah,
on roof back and just have fun, and I knew I wanted it to be country. I didn't want it to be like dance music or techno, because I thought country swings, um, bluegrass would be kind of the ideal in the Bigfoot world, the Bigfoot
yeah,
communities, right? It was either that or ballerina music, which I don't think would go over well.
right, right. Um, so anyway, so I put together, you know, some put together a song, put in some of my instruments, and then I farmed out and got some different professional players to put their tracks down, and it was an interesting project. Had to go back and fix some things a few times, but um, I'm my worst critic, so it's never good enough. So I don't know how many times I went back to redo stuff. It's like, nah, this ain't gonna cut it. This ain't. I got to do this. I got to do this, and
And who are the names that we've put in the song?
so they're all friends of mine, friends that I've worked with. One of them, his name is Chad Ware. Chad put the guitar, acoustic guitar, the lead guitar, and the banjo. And Chad plays with uh, country artist Rick Trevino. I'm sure a lot of people probably listening knows who he is. He's had a lot of hit songs like "Running Out of Reasons" and stuff. So a lot of Nashville hits. Anyway, Chad plays with him. So, and then a guy named Walter Cross, who used to work with Pam Tillis and Wade Hayes and some other artists. He did the drum tracks. He has a studio at his house, so he was able to do the drum tracks at his house and send them to me. Chad had to come to my house to do the guitar and so forth. A friend of mine, bass player that I've worked with for years. He's from Germany and came over here and has lived here for 20 years and now plays Texas country. Anyway, his name's Robert DeBlanco, and he laid the bass tracks in his studio at the house. So everything.
I do love the fact that all the instruments are live.
Yes, yeah, and I made the point. I mean, I could have cheated a little bit and probably used, even for bass, I could have used my piano and certain, my piano does all kinds of great patches.
Turn it off.
But I prefer the real McCoy. And there's, you can't. I mean, you can use patches, but it's not like the real thing. It's just not the same. So yeah, everything's real on there.
We also used a few Sasquatch and Texas country, their names in the song. And who are the people that we put in the song?
Yeah, so we mentioned Adam Davies. His name is mentioned. Robert Kreider, his name is mentioned. Your name is mentioned, Jason. And
really, wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. It just happened.
I would not want to write my name into a Sasquatch song. No.
Bob Gimlin, his name is mentioned, and John Burdennagel, his name is mentioned in it as well. So,
well, I think that we should play the song.
Okay, sounds good. But I thought it was great that we mentioned some of the classic, guys that have been out there for doing this and well known in the field for many years, and kind of guys that a lot of people like us that are doing research have respect for, and I think it's kind of a way to honor them.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
We worked so hard searching for these creatures that may or may not be real, and why not make a song that will be legendary, just like the creatures we're looking for?
Right.
So if you guys like the song, please share it with everyone. Even if they don't like country, they might get a kick out of their song. I mean, Todd put so much work into this.
Well, I think it's a good cross, kind of like you said, you mentioned before. It's a little bluegrass, a little country, and it's kind of got it's got a little, I guess, humor in it as well. So I think it's a great little mix.
All right, let's give it a listen.
All right.
Look at what jumped from the tree. One of my playing tricks on me. Darkness falls and they all creep in. Shadows of the moon around your chin. It's okay to be afraid of all the monsters in the woods. They protect you from the ones that aren't understood. No one believes me. I know the truth, I say I'm lost. I need Bigfoot to show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm lost. I need Bigfoot to show me the way. From Canada to Texas, from Cali to the Everglades, we search everywhere, but we don't know where they stay. We forge relationships everywhere that we may go, but I know he'll find me way before I'll find his home. No one believes me, I know the truth, I say I'm lost, I need Bigfoot to show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch, I'm searching for Sasquatch, I'm lost, I need Bigfoot to show me the way. The day will come, science meets reality. That day will be nothing short of normality. In inadvertent names, we know what they say. I'm off to meet Bigfoot to show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm off to meet Bigfoot to show me the way. Davy's adventurer, rider, the track.
Oh,
Oh, what happened? Right at the good part too.
yeah, that was the good part. You may have to try that again. The streaming quality wasn't too good on my end on the sound, but at least you could kind of get an idea of what it sounded like. You know what happened, Josh?
Searching for Sasquatch, searching for Sasquatch. Off to meet Bigfoot to show me the way. Davy's adventurer, rider, the tracker, Gerhard cryptid hunter, Kenzie filmmaker. Searching for Sasquatch, searching for Sasquatch. Off to meet Bigfoot to show me the way.
There we go. I really like the song. And I'm not into country and bluegrass music, right? But I'm just biased. So
You do like it or you don't?
I do like it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do like it. No, I hate it. It's terrible. Like, what the heck? Like, you're fired, all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out really good.
Yeah, so that's going to be going into the third installment, which is coming out January 2022. And there is a lot of activity and a lot of adventure in chapter 3. Like, it was so much fun working with you and hiking with you guys and
Absolutely.
learning stuff from Kreider.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a great mentor, and man, it was awesome that we were lucky enough to find an area to have activity so quickly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First night. So yeah, that was awesome.
I know we definitely plan on going back.
The second camp, that's where we got most of the activity, like most of the really good stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened with me sitting in the hammock tent, and then, myself with Blake, deep in the forest right there.
Right.
That was exciting.
Well, and that was Kreider's the one who had mentioned finding old growth, because that's how we found that area. Was he sent that drone out, and I found the area with old growth. So then we went and hunted it down on the 4-wheelers and found a good spot. And I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. We were like, let's give it a shot. And but that was an interesting trip for sure.
Yeah, I was really happy that David and the rest of the crew invited me out. I didn't expect to, have that much fun. Of course, I always have fun no matter where I go.
Yeah.
If fun doesn't come to me, I go to fun.
There you go. It's got to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time and a good area.
It was.
So I think that we should maybe show the teaser trailer.
I'm excited to see that.
Nobody's seen it yet. And it was a hard one putting it together because going through all the clips and going, okay, what should I put? What should I tease everyone with, right? Because I wanted to put the best parts in it, but I left out quite a few of the best parts for the teaser trailer. I know you should put the best parts in the teaser trailer, but then why watch the movie, right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, you're what you have to do is similar, I guess, to what I have to do from the audio standpoint. You got to put all that together. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and I'm actually now starting to make chapter 4 right now.
What areas are you going to cover? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I'm going to be going. So in that one, I took a helicopter into the backcountry, got dropped off, and then spent a night just looking for gold. Actually,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I went with this guy, and he's a geologist, and he was very intelligent when it comes to knowing his stuff. When it comes to minerals and gold, and he was teaching me how to look for it. And we were in the mountains of the Sasquatch. Like the area is so remote.
Wow.
And, there was some interesting stuff that happened when I had left and went off by myself.
Yeah.
But you'll have to wait for the film to see.
Okay.
What's
Yeah, I
happening
look
there.
forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and then I went with another friend of mine, Graham, to another area. We went looking for gold way up. And I can tell you, I think the third night we're out, and it was at nighttime, and we're doing some filming and looking around, and we kept hearing these blood-curdling screams in the forest. And we were like, what the? And every time my buddy would speak, it would scream. And then we'd be waiting for whatever it was screaming to scream again, and it wouldn't scream. But then when my buddy Graham spoke again, it screamed. It was really odd. And
like beyond coincidence, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And when I spoke, it didn't like me. It didn't say a word. I mean, what's wrong with my voice? Damn it! I have a good voice. I know with my voice too.
How far away was it?
I would say it was probably about maybe 500 yards.
Oh, it was close. Okay.
Yeah, it was fairly close. It wasn't miles away. It was. I couldn't see it, and I couldn't tell what it was. I'm not saying it was Sasquatch,
Yeah.
but it was an odd yell for sure.
Where did you say this was at again?
This is way up, close to, I want to say, like Jones Lake area.
Okay.
And it's like Harrison, but further up the mountain. Further way up the mountain, and we had hiked into the forest. And it's about, I would say 2.5 hours from my home.
Well, you spend enough time out in the wilderness up there. I would imagine that you've heard just about every animal that exists at one point or another, right?
Yeah.
So if you hear something unusual, I mean, that you can't identify, you got to wonder,
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, that was exciting. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun learning the gold pan and learning what to look for when you're looking for gold. And, obviously I didn't find much gold because, well, I'm still here.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be.
I was sitting on my yacht.
Yeah, I don't see any big necklace, or.
Yeah, I made it gold. Right?
Yeah.
Weighing me down.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's play the teaser trailer.
Yeah,
and then,
let's see it.
All right.
And see if everyone likes it. I hope.
I'm sure they will.
Life is like a show in the wondrous forest. How romantic it is to slow down and smell the flowers. How sweet it is to be in perfect harmony with the trees all around you. And just behind the beauty, there is a mystery to be solved and a legend to be uncovered. Are you ready for another chapter? Searching for Sasquatch is back. As we seek, they hide. What do you see? Join me as I take you deeper into the forest. Forge new friendships. Holy shit, that is huge. Getting closer than ever to the evidence of these creatures' existence. Journey with me as I take you on my most adventurous Bigfoot expedition thus far. This would be really cool if we catch something. Of course, I am being attacked by these moths.
Wait a second.
I know, what's that?
Who the hell is that?
As I lay quietly in my hammock, unaware that 400 feet away, our infrared camera would pick up something unbelievable. There you go.
Now I want to see more.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't put all the good stuff in. I mean,
Yeah.
the spider crawl at the end, like the reaction that we got, um, you know, but we caught so much eye shine, like
Yeah.
right behind our heads. Like, Blake doesn't know this yet, but when he turned around to walk over to the the branches that were broken and
Mhm.
twisted off, there was literally an eye shine right over 4 or 5 feet away from him. This
Wow.
big eye shine because it was behind a tree, like it was hiding behind a tree, and it was looking with one eye. You could see, and I had the camera on me, and I'm doing like a kind of a selfie talking, and then he turns and goes, "You know what? I think they broke this to stop us at that spot." Because that's what we thought. We thought maybe because the tree break wasn't there on the way to get the recorder. It was on the way back. And I was filming all the tree breaks, and some of them were thicker than my finger. They were, you know, maybe some of them were like maybe an inch in diameter,
Hmm.
and broken and twisted and broken down. And I'm filming all of them. And Blake is telling me, these guys, they break it, and that's how they, um, how they leave marks and stuff. So when we were walking back, there was, I remembered like one, but there was, when I looked at the footage, there's 1, 2, 3 breaks, and they were almost over top, right in front, in the middle of where we're walking. We
Yeah.
almost had to basically duck and walk around. And
Mhm.
I'm filming this going, Blake, I don't remember this being here. And Blake's like, yeah, I don't either. Because we almost had to walk around it. Before, we didn't know that. We didn't, like when I was filming, we were just walking straight. We didn't have to duck through
Yeah.
anything. And as we're looking, that's when we heard the big crack behind us, and we jumped and turned around. And that's when we looked at we're looking with the light and saw I saw the eye shine as my camera hit it.
Yeah.
As my camera hit the eye shine, it closed its eye, like it went out, and then for some
Wow.
odd reason it backed when it came, like it opened its eyes like really slow when it came back about 2 minutes later. But it's like it stepped back. It's almost
Okay.
like it knew. It's almost like it knew how far my infrared on my camera could see.
Wow. That's amazing.
Because I could see it, but it was very faint. And then all of a sudden, a second one walked out, and you see, it was shorter. It was much shorter. It was about
But
to the
you didn't see this till later, right? On the film, you didn't at the time.
We're watching this.
This is
There
okay. Okay.
in real time. We're seeing this,
Okay.
and Blake saw the second one, the shorter one, and then when the second one came out, my light hit it, and it stepped back behind a kind of a tree, so I could see one eye, and then it stepped back out, and we're watching this for like probably 5, 6, 7 minutes, and we're just, we're standing.
Was this a reflection off of your headlights? Were you wearing headlights?
Yeah.
Oh,
So my headlight on so about 10 minutes prior to all this going on, Blake had a really powerful red light. It was a red light, and that bright red light that Blake had.
yeah. Yeah.
He had it, and it would look beautiful on film. Like I'm filming everything, and he has this bright red light that would light almost 100 feet, and you could light up everything. About 10 minutes before everything went, we started seeing the eye shine. His light went out. It just like boop, and was out. And now he's walking in blackness. And I had my little dinky white light. And I
Yeah.
just happened to just throw in a second light, a headlamp in my pocket. So I pulled it out and handed it to him. And it was also dinky too. It was like the light wasn't that bright, but it was enough for us to walk and be able to see what's in front of us about maybe 20 feet. And so here we are we're looking at these eye shine, and I'm waiting for a scream or a yell, because you always hear, you get witnesses, people that say that these things will scream at you, and it would be a blood curdling, like right beside your head, and you would just start shaking, and it would just be so loud it would almost blow out your eardrums. And
Mhm.
so I'm waiting for this because I couldn't believe that what I was looking at. I don't know what it was. I have to say, I don't know what I'm looking at is Sasquatches. I'm trying to think, maybe it's a bear, maybe a cougar that stood up, or something. We saw lots of bear print, wolf print, cougar. Like, we saw all this kind of stuff as we're walking around. And so here we are. So then after they the eye shines disappeared, and then after about 2 minutes, we could hear cracking in the forest beside
Okay.
us. So we could hear crack. This is while we're looking at the eye shine. We could
Okay.
still hear cracking. And Blake turns to me and says, "Jason, I think there's more than just these guys. I think there's other ones," because we could hear something walking, like just crack, crack. It was like around us. And
Yeah.
so when they disappeared, we walked really fast up to that area, and where we were standing originally watching all this, the forest was thick. The trees were close together, and it was thick with lots of branches. But when we went to where they were standing, or whatever was there, you could see there was a huge opening in the trees where you could actually see the where something could walk right through. And while I was talking, so being a filmmaker, I'm for like 5 minutes, I'm filming this way. I'm filming out, and I'm trying to see if my camera can catch it. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to edit this, I need to turn it around and do a different angle. So I
Yeah.
started talking on film. So when we walked to the area and we looked at the area, I start talking on my camera what's happening, and over our shoulder by Blake was a big eye shine. It was huge. It was like that big eye shine, like this one big eyeball was just looking at us.
Wow.
Okay. And we didn't see this. We didn't see any of this. I didn't see this until like months later when I'm looking through the footage
Yeah.
and seeing this. So then we walk back, and then that's when Blake turns and goes, "You know what, Jay?" Walks over to the original tree break, and said, "I think that they wanted us to stop here."
Yeah.
And so while I'm talking on film, and on camera, you see a big eyeball right in front, like a big eye shine right in front of Blake, directly in front of him, about 4 feet. I walk over there. I didn't see it in
Wow.
real time. I'm seeing all this on when I'm editing the footage.
Mhm.
So I walk over to Blake, and we're looking at this, not realizing that something is standing 5 feet in front of us that we did not see because it was behind a tree.
Yeah.
And that's when I
Now,
turned around
yeah.
and I saw the big figure fall to the ground, like basically fall to the ground, or at least go straight to the ground and do this kind of like a giant spider right across the the ground and
And how
into the
close was
forest,
that from you when you saw that?
probably 25 feet. But I didn't. But the thing is, because my camera was facing me, I didn't get it on film because I didn't
Yeah.
expect anything. I did this turn where Blake was looking that way. We were all looking at the down where we saw the eye shine originally. And so I took a step forward and did this kind of almost like a dance move where I went forward like I'm going to walk towards Blake, and then I turned around like I just went whoop, and I did this smooth glide around really fast.
Yeah.
And it's like I caught whatever was looking, it caught it off guard because it thought I was walking that way when I turned around. and I had the camera on me, so I didn't expect anything. Dropped it down, and I'm pretty sure there was a second one that was standing there that took one step back behind the tree, like it took a step back in the forest.
The one that you saw crawling, where did it come from?
It came from left to right, so it was they both were left, and they dropped to the ground and scampered across, and went up over. And the eyes, like the whites of the eyes, I could see, and it went right across, nice and smooth.
Yeah.
It wasn't hopping, like it didn't.
Yeah.
The head didn't do this. It was smooth, and I'm looking at this, going, I'm like, what is that? What the hell? And I just totally, like, gives me goosebumps thinking, because I have arachnophobia. So seeing this looking like a giant spider just right across. And so I walked. So I told Blake right away, like what I just saw. And Blake said, where was it? And I was walking to show him. And suddenly something went crack, crack in the forest beside me. And on film, I said, oh, that was a bird. Really, I was just trying to calm myself down. I'm like, of course, that was a bird.
Yeah.
And then as I turned the camera on me, right by where I saw the spider, because I walked over to it, was this eye shine right in the forest, right there. And you see it for a second in the shot.
Can you tell any idea how high that eye shine was based?
Yeah, it was probably about 8 feet, maybe
Okay.
9 feet over my head. Like it was,
Well,
it was
that's-
over.
Yeah.
Blake was next to me when I saw, and remember, this eye shine, all these eye shines we never saw in real time, like except for the ones at the very end. All these other ones was in when I was editing and going through the footage, and then found it.
Yeah.
And saw it. And I almost fell off my chair.
When you saw the thing spider crawling, could you hear it crawling away?
No, that was the thing. I didn't hear it when it was crawling. When it went off into the forest, I heard it crack, crack.
Uh-huh.
And then I was so emotional and so like, what the hell did I just see? I almost fell backwards. That I guess my talking, if there was any more cracking.
Well, if you think about the one that was 4 feet away, I don't know if I know of any animals out there that are going to stand there while two humans are walking up 4 feet away. That's just going to stand there and look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's no deer or elk. Even a bear. Most bears are going to run off. You know
what? It's been multiple times going into the forest filming animals that I've had wild deer, walk right up to me.
Is that right?
I've had that happen. I'll be sitting there filming it, and it would turn and just kind of walk towards me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've had that happen maybe 4 or 5 times.
Interesting.
And bears, there's been multiple times where I've had bears. One time a bear just walked up to me, and then it got about 5 feet, and I just stood there, and it just turned and just walked into the forest. But never kind of walking right up to me.
Black bear?
I'm here right now, if that's the case.
Yeah. So every bear I've ever seen when I was been out and about, man, they were black bear. I don't know if that was what you saw, the grizzly or black bear you see.
Oh, black bear, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Everyone I've seen in Colorado, they're running, but I mean, and they're so fast when they do too. But
I think that might have been what you saw when we were out in that the pit.
A bear?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was bigger than a bear. I think. I don't know. If it was anything identifiable, it would have been more like an elk, the size that it was.
But it wasn't very loud though, was it?
Nope.
No, and that's the thing. It's kind of crazy. And Josh, when you brought me to those sticks, those logs that were over the road, that was interesting. And when I took it off the road, and I jokingly said, I wonder if this is going to piss them off, whoever put it there. And just as soon as I put it down and I walked over to you, we hear the wood knock.
Mm-hmm.
That really bang. Boy, did we get that on film. It was
Really?
loud.
Oh, you did?
Like what?
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was like boom, and the reaction was like, oh.
Is that over in the hammock area where you stay, where you were sleeping in that area?
No, it was just down the road. It was where
This
you
was right on the road.
yeah, right on the road.
And did you sleep in the hammock the next night? I left that second night. Second day.
Yeah, I slept. If you weren't here, then it was the night after.
Well, I mean, I know you did that first night I was there. Did you do it more than one night?
Yes, I did a second night, I
Oh,
think, and then I decided not to after that.
well, yeah, it sounds like whatever it was, it sounded like there was quite a few around you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? I was glad, and when I heard the grunt, that was trippy, and I didn't even know if people would believe me that.
Can you
whatever.
describe that?
It was like, woof, woof. That's what it sounded like. Woof. Just one big woof. Yeah, yeah.
Close?
It was close. It was within 5 feet.
When you were sleeping?
When I was sleeping, I woke up
Okay.
and heard the crack.
Okay, I remember that story. Okay.
Yeah, I heard the crack, and then I'm sitting there like listening, like, okay. And here's the thing: throughout the night, while I was trying to get sleeping, I could hear the screams in the night, the howls, way off in the distance. Oh, multiple times. And there was like I could like when you're lying in the hammock and it's dead quiet, you can hear your sensors. And then I closed my eyes, I could hear the howls way, and I'm talking the howls were probably like a couple miles away.
Yeah.
Like three miles.
Can you also describe those?
Oh, just what we caught on recorders. You know,
Okay.
what Roberts with the big high pitch.
Yep.
Yeah, I could hear those. And it was almost like they were talking. I then hear in the crack. And I know there was a bunny that came by the night because I could hear the sound of the bunny.
Yeah.
A little mouse or something came by. I could hear that under the tent, like under the hammock. But when I heard the crack and then the thing that walked up to us, to me was that was, and I could feel every time I hit the ground, it walked. I could feel the vibration, and off the hammock, I could feel the vibration of it walking.
I think I would have had changed my underwear.
Well, I couldn't move because I was stuck to the hammock. But yeah, so that was, and then I started shaking uncontrollable.
Yeah.
And then I yelled out and said, Dave, is that you? Because I'm thinking maybe it was one of you guys that came up to check up. And then Dave is like, yeah, Jay, yeah, it's me. I'm over here. And so I thought, okay, well, woo, that was good. It was him snoring. That's why I was, so I got out really fast. And there he was sleeping on the ground, David. And I said, were you just walking around? And he's like, no, I wasn't walking around. I said, are you sure? Because he was bundled up. He was bundled up. There's no way from the time that I yelled his name and got in. Like he would have made a heck of a noise trying to get sitting down by the tree. And he was like 20 feet away, 25 feet. And he was, I'm like, are you joshing me? No offense, Josh. You weren't walking around? I said, no. I said, did you not just hear what just happened? He's like, no, I was just sleeping. I only woke up because you called my name. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe it was a wild pig, right? So I don't know. I just do not know. I mean,
well, with all that, with what happened to you and Blake and all the screams you talk about, whatever they were.
Yeah.
If they were Sasquatch, I think there's probably a good chance they were. Seems like there's a good population of them in the area, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if we were to go back out there, would you sleep in the same spot?
Yeah, I would sleep in the same spot. Yeah, for sure. Do some.
Yeah, I would love to go out that same exact camping area spot.
Oh, you know what I should have done? It probably would have really pissed them off. Is I should have just did a wood knock on the X. Like I should have just took a baseball bat, did a couple of wood knocks. I wonder if they would be really pissed off if we pushed it over. Imagine if we just dismantled the X and we moved it. And then I said, "This is our spot now. Don't you cross
Yeah.
here." You know?
You just got to
That
know
was a
how many
pretty- that was
knocks. I mean, if you do the wrong amount of knocks, it could be a mating call or something. You never know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where's Jason? Well, he got dragged off into the forest, and
He's married now.
I tried throwing him a condom, but
Oh, jeez.
okay, we'll scrap that one. Oh damn it, it's live, son of a.
Man,
Christian,
honestly, that story though, the spider crawl story, that's one of the most fascinating stories I've heard in a while. I mean, I know we talked about it before, but I'd forgotten some of the details, and man, that's fascinating. It really is.
yeah, you know what? For weeks after that, every time I closed my eyes, I would just see the eyes looking at me. It just stared at me as it
Yeah.
went across.
Now,
yeah.
when y'all were seeing the three, that was it three of them, right? 3 eye shines or 2 eye shines that you saw at one time?
At the end,
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's one when you and Blake were there before you saw the spider crawl. Y'all were watching that eye shine, right?
yeah, like there was two.
Two.
There was two different, whatever it was, two creatures at the end. One that was tall, one was a little smaller.
Did you catch those two on video?
You know what? I'm having trouble seeing it on film itself.
Okay.
I think I can see the one of the small eye shine on the bottom. But I caught all the other eye shine on the side when we went down there.
Yeah, the ones you catch on the eye shine that you did catch eye shine, were those still reflection off your light, or is there something with the camera that's able to pick it up better than?
No, I had it on infrared. So I
oh,
had my
okay.
And that's why the eye shine was reflecting off the infrared.
Got it. Understood.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were much closer, and that's why I caught that. Like I said, when I first put the light and shone it, because we were shining it, and right away Blake he put his gun up, because we're thinking, okay, maybe it's a bear, because we just saw bear and cougar tracks.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know. And then once he realized that, okay, it might be something else, he put the gun down. He actually had it completely down. Because remember, we only had the gun for protection.
Right.
We didn't go out hunting. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure if it was like these creatures that we call Sasquatch, if it had charged us, I don't even think he would have even attempted to pick up his gun to shoot.
Yeah.
Either these creatures would have just, I totally thought there would be rocks thrown or something, or yells or screams. It was, it was interesting, but I wasn't going to leave Blake. Like if they charged us or whatever, I wouldn't have left Blake. I would have stayed right by him. We would have been killed together. As we were being ripped apart, I'm like, Blake, thanks. It was good knowing you.
You'd be in the next missing 411 book.
Yeah. Save my video camera, Blake.
Man, that is fascinating though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it because I know I missed out on a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited as well.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's there's going to be a lot of stuff that you'll see in chapter 3, and I'm looking forward to everyone watching it, and I hope people can like it. They can share it with everyone or tell people about it and get that ball going. And
what's the release date again on it?
It's going to release the second weekend, January 2022.
Okay.
And that's when it's going to be coming out. And you guys and people who watch this video, if they want to download the song onto it's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on iHeartRadio. It's on like 21 different.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's really the best way to listen to it, other than because I'm sure the streaming, the way we streamed it, you don't get the full what it really truly sounds like, without playing it,
He's kidding. That's exactly what it sounds like. That's all. Exactly. Done. No, I know you are very talented.
Thank you.
I was shocked, but I was really happy with it. I'm so glad. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were. Like I said, I'm my worst critic, so I was never 100% happy with it. But when it comes to recording, it's one of those things that at some point you have to stop. If
Yeah.
that makes
Well,
sense,
I know.
because when you're doing it, there's always something, and when you're producing something, it's always, oh man, I need to go fix this if I can. But if I fix this, and I'm probably gonna have to go redo this, because it's all stuff
Yeah.
laid on top of other stuff. So um, it's never where you want it to be when you're producing. I mean, I'm sure you can probably relate with your work too. It's like, oh man,
Never perfect. Never
yeah.
perfect. You know.
Well, I know. Ever so often, I get a text from you with an audio file going, "How does this sound?" As it was progressing.
Yeah, because what happens when you're doing this, and again, Jason, you may be relate to that, is when you're listening to this song over and
Yeah.
over. I bet I
Mhm.
listened to it 2,000 times
Yeah.
during this project, literally. And because you're listening for certain things, and then when you're focusing on one thing, you're not listening to something else because you need to focus on different parts of it. And at some point, you just it's like writer's block. At some point, you just can't. It's like your ears get fatigued. You just can't. You need another set of ears,
Yeah.
and that's why you kind of got three layers of that. I had another guy that's a professional mixer do the mixing, so I did what I could. I sent it to him, so I got his second opinion. And there's some things he came back, hey, we probably should fix this, blah blah blah. And then when it goes to mastering, that's the third checkpoint.
Yeah.
Is whoever's doing the mastering. This was mastered in Arkansas with a company that does a lot of albums and stuff. And that's the third check. If there's something that just really they're not able to get into check when they master it, then they'll go back to the guy doing the mix and say, hey, we need to do this. And it could have come as far back as the producer, but really, but it's just good. The more ears, and also, part of the mixing process is every speaker's different.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to get everything. You have to listen to it through different speakers. You go listen to the car. I've got a set of Bose speakers in my truck, so it's great one to test in. But you want to listen to it on the phone. How does it sound on the phone versus the truck? You kind of got to get it.
Yeah.
Mastering fixes some of that, does some of the leveling for that when they master it. But I would listen to it on the phone. I was like, that sounds horrible. I'll go listen to the truck. Oh, that's a little bit better, or vice versa. So you have to get everything, all the levels set appropriately, because it sounds different, and I kept telling the guy that was doing the mixing, Paul, I said, like, keep in mind, this is going to be on a television show, so it's got to sound good on a television that may or may not have surround sound, or may not have good speakers. It's got to sound good if it's just on a cheapo television playing through the TV speakers.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you do the mixing.
How do you know I have one of those TV sets? Those big fat
You
ones.
go in the big square, those heavy things.
1985, big heavy thing.
Man, I had a black and white one back in the day. When I was a kid, I had a little black and white TV in my room.
A little tiny one like this,
Yep.
You have to look like this. Okay, this is great watching the Bionic Man.
Oh. Yeah. $6 Million Man and Lost in Space and Gilligan's Island.
Oh, I want to say, Josh, is your wife still going to do the art for part 2? I'm getting this on live. Everyone's going to be like, why did he have to mention that?
Well, there is something I'm wanting to try, but I need pictures of all of you guys. But I'm basically going to try and put it through a program to where it makes it look like
it animates real
animates
pictures.
your picture. Yeah. And see if we can get a picture of you guys holding the flashlight.
Yeah.
And your camera somehow. And get that sent to me. I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, we could try it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we only have a month, because part 1 is coming out, January the first weekend, and then part 2 is going to be coming out a month later.
Okay.
Just stack it like that.
Is all the UP filming? Is that in part 1 and part 2 or
Part
both?
1 and 2, yeah.
Oh,
In part 1 and part 2. So, it's there was so much that happened. I
yeah,
couldn't put it in a full. I mean, I could have, but it would have been like 2 hours and
yeah.
20 minutes, and so I had to kind of split it up.
Where's so once that's released, where can the listeners? Where's the best place for them to find that?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on Vimeo. I'm going to put it out so people can rent it or people can buy it, because I think all you guys will want to have a copy for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So, I made it. I'm going to make it so people can either rent it for like $1.99 or they can buy it for $4.99. It's
Right.
something really inexpensive, so people, and any of the money that I make is going to go right back into
For the next one. Huh?
for the next one, right? And for just support what I do. I don't want to make it, and I don't want to $59.99. You can rent it.
Yeah.
No. Make it so people can just so you make it cheap enough so people can just buy it.
Well, we definitely want to get you out on the Rocky Mountain expedition.
I'm there.
Whatever.
Red Mountain expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Red Mountain. We won't be in the Rockies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
Colorado.
all part of the Rockies, but yeah.
Colorado, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Rio Grande National Forest.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we come across some really cool action.
Yeah. So the story kind of behind this, this area, Josh and I have been 4-wheeling into since Josh was probably, I think, first 4-wheel trip he went on, he was probably less than a year old. But anyway, it's an area in southwest Colorado. It's in Canais County, and it's some of the most remote. They claim it's some of the most remote country in the United States, the remote area. Supposedly that's where the last grizzly was killed, was in that wilderness area there.
Wow.
Of course, a lot of the trappers in the areas will still tell you there's grizzlies still there.
So when we go in, we should prepare for grizzlies just in case.
And cougars and
Blind bear.
I'm not sure the wolves have made it that far south yet. I don't think they have, but that I'm aware of, but still could, who knows? But Josh and I, what's that?
So you wouldn't even want to run into a moose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Josh and I have done some 4-wheeling and camping up in on one of the passes there. It's called Blowout Pass, and I think we were probably about 9,000 feet. And where we camped, we just coincidentally, Joshua looked about 50 yards away, and there was a tree structure from where we were camping. A pretty distinct one, so very interesting one. So, but anyway, this area has a long history. I think it was trying to think what Indian tribes from the south. Is it the Ute Indians? I think southwest Colorado. There's an area there, and I think it's part of the Canais drainage. There's a drainage. They call it the Canais drainage, just where the Canais River runs. There's an area that they used to call the land where the big man walks. Was a nickname for that area. But I've spoke with researchers, Colorado researcher who wrote. Matter of fact, I'll even mention his name because you can look it up in the writings of Keith Foster, and there's a long write up about the history of the Canais and Sasquatch and grizzly and all that. It's very interesting read. That talks about that area. And I've actually reached out to him, and he kind of gave me a heads up on the areas that we should focus on. And Joshua had mentioned Red Mountain because, again, that area is so secluded that, there's the tree structure. That's the tree structure that we...
I was going to ask you if it was an X.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at the one in the middle. Like the one
was hung right on the middle of the X, like it was put there intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a walkway that goes up the mountain. It kind of looked like kind of cleared walkway game chow that went through where their ex was at. It was real ominous looking.
Yeah.
So we camped probably 50 yards from that. I'd say it was 9 or 10. It might have been closer to 10,000 feet because I think the top of Blowout is like 11 or 12. So it was way up there, way up there. And man, I remember it was super quiet that night. We didn't hear anything, but I'm sure they're coming through. But there's been quite a few sightings in the Conneaus area, long history, and the Red Mountain was one of the areas where it was mentioned that there's no roads or trails that go up into these areas. There may be some logging roads. I'm not sure. But other than that, there's no official trails. It's really not a touristy area where we would be going. And that's one of the cool things about it. Well, I guess kind of like the UP, it's the area we go, we probably won't see anybody.
Well, that's good.
And so my thought process is that, and I was told by that researcher that if you do go up in the Red Mountain, to be careful because they're not used to people being up there because there's just not a lot of people. So, but they, he seemed to think that they were coming down from that Red Mountain area.
Yeah. Now, is there waterfalls that we can go out to too? I say that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are waterfalls. I know there are. I mean, that area there have to be. I just don't. And there are some areas where you can hike up to some really scenic. Josh and I hiked up. It's Conneaus Peak, right? I don't remember how far it was. I want to say it was maybe a 3-mile hike up the mountain, but it goes up to
half a day.
Yeah, it was a great spot to get some photos. It'd be a half-day trip, but it'd be probably worth going over there and hiking up to the top of that. And there probably is some waterfalls going up. I can't remember. It's a beautiful area. Beautiful area.
There were a few smaller ones, maybe yay big, but there are a lot of streams and waterfalls out there.
Is it old growth that we're going to?
Yes, yeah, some of it is. There's some logging areas as well, but we'll definitely try to find some old growth areas. But the areas up to Conneaus Peak, that was all old growth. Yeah, for sure.
Well, everything up on Red Mountain past the logging roads is all old growth. I was looking at the map.
Yeah, we can go out to old growth. That would be great.
Yeah. Well, part of my plans when we do, I'm probably, that'll be a week trip. I'm probably going to go up the week before because we usually go up there anyway and scout out the areas and try to find a good area that's at no growth. And I know Josh had identified a spot he wanted to check out. Where there's a
good spot for base camp.
Logging road. But we want to, but I agree we should find old growth, and I would like to camp in old growth if we can.
Yeah.
It's so desolate and spread out there. It may even be worth if we got a large enough team there splitting up and maybe doing some different camping areas, hiking in certain areas and camping overnight, different areas and communicating by walkie-talkie or whatever if we can.
Yeah.
And covering several areas. It might be worth it.
That'd probably be the mission of day one is to scope the area out and see what we have.
So
to work with.
Okay, so before I forget, I'm also going to be doing a music video as soon as you can get those video clips to me.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Put an actual music video with Todd singing and lip syncing to it, and get that going and make a really kick-ass music video. Been waiting and
I understand waiting impatiently.
I am. I'm like, I really want to get that. Yeah.
No, I know you do, and I'm excited about it too. We're really trying to get that done this week.
So are you going to do a premiere for part 2 or part 3?
Yeah, I'll do a premiere. Like I'll do a count. Well, yes, I will be because it's going to be on Vimeo. So they should have an option that I can, and people will eventually be able to see it on Plex.com, and they'll be able to see it on probably, I'm hoping, Tubi TV and a bunch of other streaming platforms eventually.
Okay.
But that won't be till a little while later.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's great. I can't wait. I'm glad to see you guys and
Yeah,
everyone
you
that's
too.
watching. Glad to see everyone that's watching too. All 4,675
Yeah,
and a half of you
I
guys.
hope, I hope so.
2 people watching. Damn it,
Well, there's Dave, and there's Dave. I see Dave out there. He may be the
Dave.
only one. No, I see a couple of people out there.
Hey guys, just joined in. Where are you going to look? We're going to go this way. And
Red Mountain in Colorado.
how many people do you want to come to
Well, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have. It's gonna be two. It's gonna be Joshua's group, and it's gonna be the group that I'm a member of. So I'm probably maybe 4 or 5 from my group. I don't know how many from Joshua's group's coming.
About 4 or 5.
So we'll probably have around 10 to 12. And I'm thinking.
But we'll have enough to where we could have teams going out and
Well, Jason likes to go out by himself, so he can.
venture off and at least 200 feet away. So
Braver than me, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
that way, if one walks out on me, I can say, "Go to them over there."
Yeah, that's right. He's gonna be like, "No, you're by yourself."
You're the ones that kicked your
Yeah,
tree X.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't know. It'll be worth checking out. I hope we get lucky and do have some activity out there. It's just hard to say. It's so spread out, but again, so
well,
is the UP. Look how big the UP is and how spread out it is, and we had luck the first night.
First night,
well,
second night. I mean, those moths were just killers. Let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah. They look
Yeah.
like them Texas mosquitoes.
Oh, they're
they were
huge.
worse than the mosquitoes.
Yeah, that was Benzie County in Michigan. He's asking if you guys ever hit Benzie. I don't know what county. Do you know, Josh? What county were we in when we were up in the UP? Or I don't know.
I don't remember.
Benz County may not be the UP. I don't know, but Brian, where's Benzie County? What part of Michigan is that? But yeah, there's just so many good areas, man. I could spend probably the rest of my life just hitting the wilderness in every state. I mean, there's so many great spots, man.
Yeah, there is.
How many states have you hit filming? Would you say?
Well, I've been over in Washington, the the Olympian. I've been to up and down BC. I've been on the island, on Vancouver Island. There's a few spots I went out there.
Okay.
I think we were hiking down a trail at night.
Yeah.
It was kind of like very similar, like a little road.
Vancouver, right? Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island, yeah, on Vancouver Island, and we were walking towards to the beach, like to where the ocean is, but we had to go through a lot of wilderness to get to the beach because there were mussels and clams, and I had interviewed a few people who told me about seeing these creatures eating clams.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one person tell me they were digging clams themselves when something screamed and yelled at them and threw rocks at them, and they had to run off. And so they told me where it was. So I hiked out, and I was hiking down this kind of a ATV kind of trail.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I see these footprints on the ground, like these bigger footprints. They weren't footprints like from a human. They were just these big footprints. Then all of a sudden there was this rock that was thrown, and then a crash through the forest. Like, it scared the living crap out of me. And all the birds that were sleeping were like flying up and freaking out as it was crashing into the forest. And I jumped, and I'm filming this. I actually caught the birds and everything, and then as it was crash. I mean, for all I know, it was a bear. Because
Yeah.
I know there's lots of bears on.
Well,
things.
I don't think bears can throw rocks.
No, but there was a rock.
No.
There was a rock that actually landed beside me, and it kind of hit the ground. But yeah, whatever it was loud, big, and it just crashed through the forest. And I was like, wow. And then there was really not much after that. I mean, there were some really cool things I filmed afterwards, but it wasn't really Sasquatch, or anything to do with Sasquatch. It was
Yeah.
just fun, you know. Anytime you can get out there in the forest. You know, I watched that documentary. I think it was Dave was by
Uh-huh.
the Sasquatch. Oh no, it was it Squatch Nation? Was it? What was it that
That Dave was in and,
I think Dave was in?
Josh.
Were you in
168.
there, Josh?
Yeah,
You were in.
164 hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
168.
liked it. I watched it the other day, and I thought that was pretty well done. You know,
Yeah, Kerry does a good job. He did a real good job.
you should ask Carrie if Todd and I can go on his podcast. We could, because don't they have a podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, Bigfoot Odyssey.
Yeah, I should ask them if they would have us on. We could promote the song, and
Yeah, I can bring it up to him, see what he says.
I mean, if Todd wants to, Todd,
Yeah, sure.
you know, might as well, you know. I'm supposed to do another couple podcasts in the next couple days too, so that's gonna be
Are you?
exciting. Yeah, I should see if you can come on there too and talk about, because I'm going to promote the song. And so for everyone out there that doesn't know who I am, you can also find my animal videos and my Sasquatch videos on YouTube under A Photo Warrior, all one word, on YouTube.
Oh, I was going to ask you what the story is with the wolf looking over your back, standing over you.
So I went to Saskatchewan and I met a lady who lives with 5 timber wolves. Actually, she had 4 species of wolves. Well, actually, there's really only 2, but she had like 5 different species of wolves, timber wolf, BC wolves. But that was a big, giant, 145-pound timber wolf. And yeah, it was incredible. I got to go in and walk with the wolves, and I never had a wolf lick me so much in my life. I swear to God, I was like part werewolf after he so much. But yeah, I have part 1 and part 2 of that video, my wolf experience on YouTube.
Okay.
You
Very cool.
can see it on there, and yeah, that was a fun adventure.
Yeah.
Flew out to Saskatchewan, and who knew that someone could have these big giant wolves running around like they were dogs.
Right.
Except for the puppy. The puppy bit me, actually. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to get you down here to Texas too, because we got some hot spots, good hot spots I can take you to down here.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Did y'all want to play the song one more time before we end the show?
Sure. Sure.
So
Let's play it one more
people
time.
have kind of joined in towards the end.
Why don't you sing it, Josh? Sing it.
You sing it. You're the one that wrote it.
I don't remember the words.
Go ahead, Todd.
I don't remember the words.
Get the.
You're the one that wrote the song. You sing it.
I told Jason the other day, I only did about 5 or 6 takes on the vocals. And I had them taped up in the room where I'm recording, and I go through it, and I did not memorize them. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna ask them. I have to memorize them.
I mean, if you can get the chorus down perfect, the chorus with the, yeah, if you can get the chorus down, that would be great. Maybe
I'll have it for the. You're talking about for the.
Yeah, for the music video.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'll have all. I can do sections. I can do sections at a time if I need to, but
Brian
once I hear it going, it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's play it again and get this.
And then we'll say our goodbyes.
Yes.
I'll miss you guys.
We'll see you again.
Look at what jumped from the tree. One of my playing tricks on me. Darkness falls and they all creep in. The shadows of the moon around your teeth. It's okay to be afraid of all the monsters in the woods. They protect you from the ones that aren't understood. No one believes me. I know the truth, but say I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. From Canada to Texas, from Cali to the Everglades, we search everywhere, but we don't know where they stay. We forge relationships everywhere that we may go, but I know he'll find me way before I'll find his home. No one believes me, I know the truth, I say I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. The day will come, science meets reality. The day will be nothing short of normality. And in bird and rain, we know what they say. I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way. Davy's adventurer, Ryder the tracker, Gerhard cryptid hunter, Kenzie filmmaker. Searching for Sasquatch, searching for Sasquatch, lost underneath Bigfoot. Show me the way.
Hey, Brian said it needs to be on iTunes. I think it is on iTunes, right?
Yep, on iTunes. It's on Spotify. You know, originally the film was going to be called Hide and Seek. But I decided the last second I was going to call it, We Seek, They Hide.
Yeah.
It was I actually was going to say Seek and Hide, but it didn't sound right. So I had to put We Seek, They Hide, which kind of works out perfect because exactly what's about.
That's
Right.
kind of like our motto: "They will hide and we will seek."
Yeah. They will hide, we will seek. Okay, well, I was so glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good
you
seeing
too,
you
Jason.
again.
Thank you so much and like I said, if people want to see more of my work as a filmmaker and as a animal photojournalist, they can actually go to A Photo Warrior on YouTube. And I'm also going to be working on a new children's book with the She Squatchers. Yeah.
Oh,
It's called
Very cool.
Adventure. It's called Adventures of Little JJ meets the She Squatchers.
Oh, okay.
well, awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be another project that's coming up. I'm working on it right now, and it's coming along slowly, but hopefully everyone enjoys that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be releasing a new children's book that I just published called Adventures of Little JJ Rescued to Cryptid Island, which is a little 6-year-old boy that uses his imagination to help a little female Sasquatch get back to her parents. And so he's helped by the Loch Ness Monster, a little boy ghost, and Moth Boy.
Moth Boy?
Moth Boy.
Boy.
They help him. So I'll be releasing that very shortly in the next few days.
Might be a new cartoon on Saturday mornings one of these days.
Not with the cartoons they have out nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Cartoons are never like that now. They're never the same. Never as good.
Somebody's asked for you if you can post some of the links in the description.
Yeah, are you able to post some of the links, Josh, under this video?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can probably find
The links for the song or to your page?
Well, to everything would be great. To the page,
Okay.
to the I um, to the song where they can find it on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely do that.
You can actually find it on YouTube Music too. YouTube Music, uh, TikTok. TikTok actually has the song where you can take the song and do your own videos to it. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't wait to see what people do with that.
yeah, exactly, right. But yeah, you can find it. We just Google Jason Kenzie, searching for Sasquatch, or you'll find like all different stuff about what I've done over the years. May it be with Sasquatch or my animal adventures or my children's books and other projects. But yeah, that's it.
Very cool.
God, I'm boring.
You got to get back to work on part 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you again, Jason. It was good to see you again.
Thank you, and you guys too. And I will see you guys later.
All right.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Talk soon,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure. We'll be talking soon.
All right. Talk to you. See you guys.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
And thank you everybody for watching. We'll see y'all next time.